project had started 12 years ago when I was shooting the film of my mother, which is called Brave New Land, and there I met a village that's called Forte Coimbra, and at this village, it's a military village, and at this village the cemetery was closed. And since I saw it, a village where people who died would have to be buried 7 hours away, I have decided to do this film. At the first, there was no young person, there was only old people living there. Then I discovered that it was quite difficult for me to develop the story without someone that would help the story to go on. And then I brought Rita, which is a photographer, because at that point I was just finishing design school, and at the design school I was really researching photography. So I realized I want to do a film with photography inside of the film. I also have wanted to have two different aspects inside the film, and those are a magic realism, a narrative story which is talking about some village that maybe nobody dies. It's a really narrative story, but at the same time to have a documentary aspect. So to do it, I work a lot on the script, and at the same time I did a long research on this region, a documentary research, where I did a documentary there. It's called The Father's Day, and I brought all the material that I researched to the script. So the script itself was actually really done in both sense. And at the same time, the actors, the four main actors are actors, they don't come from there, but all the others, they are people who live there. And I had also tried to manage to figure out a way of putting them together and trying to make the same kind of acting. It was very important to me, Jazanki, especially the film Still Life, because in that film also there is somehow this relationship in between a fantastic film that the building flies, and at the same time to have a really contemporary, really documentary aspect in the film. You can see it. There's also Koreeda, especially the film Afterlife, because for me it's almost the same thing. And Claire Denis and the way she shoots, it was quite important to me also. And Chantal Ackman, especially the film Jean Dillman, for the repetition. I think the possibility of seeing movies from outside is getting faster because of internet and etc. And because of that, it's more common to be influenced by those films. So yes, I would, especially the films that are now going to the festivals, so somehow we're more able to see those films, especially the Oriental films, that come from Oriental. I would say they are influencing a lot people from my generation in Brazil, and I would say maybe all Latin America. At the same time, it was not only an influence of the film, but also I did a lot of script workshop in Brazil, but also in Argentina, in Madrid. And I think this possibility of working on the script with other people from different places is also a possibility of exchanging knowledge. And I think that also allowed the film to get similar in a bad and in a good sense. In Brazil right now it's quite difficult to do more author films because the political right now is to do commercial film. I mean, in Brazil and every place else, but especially in Brazil, because we are trying, I would say, we in the Brazilian sense, but at the same time I don't feel part of it. The Brazilian are trying to do big films in order to create supposedly to create an industry. I don't believe it's possible to create. But at the same time, probably because of it, it's coming in a really new generation that is trying to do films just like I did, with really small amount of money and with friends, and really not trying to do in a with technicals that are working on this industry. I'm working right now in supposedly a film, but I'm not so sure it's going to be a film or a dance spectacle. I believe it's going to be a film, and it's about it's a love relationship in between a dancer and a sculptor. And the idea is especially to work with the possibility that dance gives about movement and the possibility that sculpture gives about freezing. And how those two things can be together and be similar and at the same time different. So I want to work with actually the sculpture and the dance, and I'm going to use the love story to allow me to make those two different pieces.